In a combined effort to drive the new set policies issued by Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation, Digital Economy (FMoCIDE) to fruition, industry captains call for effective implementation of set policies at the 6th edition of Policy Implementation Assisted Forum Piafo 2024, themed Accelerating Collective Prosperity Through Technical Efficiency, which was held at Radisson Blu Hotel, Lagos. Kickstarting the discourse, the Deputy Director in charge of Policy, Competition and Economic Analysis of the Nigerian Communication Commission, Mrs. Frida Bruce Bennett, presented the keynote speech of the EVC, Dr. Aminu Mita, highlighting the strategic blueprint and policies issued by the FMoCIDE, while stating NCC's objectives and roles.
We have the blueprint, strategic blueprint, accelerating our collective prosperity for technical efficiency. Now, what is the key focus of this document? It is to harness the power of technology to elevate Nigeria's global standing, to create sustainable employment opportunities for all, and improve the quality of lives for Nigerians. As we move to a globally connected world, as we move to a world where technology thrives, as we move to a world where technology is actually now the foundation, the bedrock, and the sustainability of the nation. Nigeria, thanks to the work of our parent ministry, is continually moving the direction of everybody towards this focus to use technology to change our global standing and change lives, bring about socio-economic change and growth. And in achieving this, we have 5 pillars, which I'm sure we all know this document: knowledge, the policy pillar, infrastructure, innovation, entrepreneurship and capital, and finally trade.
Speaking on harmonizing Nigeria's 5 deployment strategies for effective implementation, Executive Director of Broadband Communications Limited, Mr. Chidi Ibisi, outlined the struggles the industry faced in the past and is currently facing in implementing set policies and meeting up with estimated targets.
The National Broadband Plan was put together by industry stakeholders as well as NCC. And the objectives here and the targets here are very important, right? Right of way. We're still dealing with issues of right of way. Executive Secretary of our convention, right of way. Now, right of way is a challenge. You come to a state like Lagos, they tell you this is it. You take it or leave, right? You go to some states, they've started waiving right of way. Abuja is very unique. They have the highest cost of right of way charges, and that's federal government. That's federal government that's going around to all the different states saying, reduce your cost of right-of-way. We've had meetings with them. But in this case, the right-of-way charges in Abuja are very high. All right? Provide incentives. And as we go down, we're going to talk about incentives and issues of funding. Okay? Now, broadband targets. When? 2020, 2025. You're going to see when we get to the current plan that the Honorable Minister has, that it borrows from some of these, right?
Some of the participants in attendance included stakeholders from the industry such as Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria, ATCON, Association of Licensed Telecoms Operators of Nigeria, ALTON, the Nigerian Data Protection Commission, NDPC, and other key players. Other stakeholders outlined the impact that Piafo and such collaborative effort towards the effective implementation of policies will achieve in the industry.
The reason why we introduced Piafo is because we realized there are so many policies that Nigeria has formulated, but when it comes to implementation, it is always very poor. So we created this platform as an avenue for players within the public sector who are policymakers, and also the private sector who are players in the sector to always come together and address pressing policy issues and chart the way forward to see how all the policies that we have in place can be implemented to deliver value to the people, to the players, and also to the government.
So I have to actually commend Piafo. I mean, they've been in the forefront of these discussions, very important discussions. Advocacy is such that you have to keep pushing. You know, you may not get everything you pushing on the same day, but as you keep reiterating and pushing for it, someday, the regulators and the policymakers will listen, and Piafo has been in the forefront of that. Previous editions have also driven some of this advocacy, and which is why you see the regulators and all the policymakers are here, which is a very critical thing that's happened.
And what we are seeing now today speaks to the fact that the industry is doing quite well. The policies are in the right direction, and if properly implemented, those policies will achieve the objectives that they set to achieve. Concerns have been expressed about the broadband policy and the timeline and the progress made so far, but also the potentials have been identified. The problems have been identified, and it's been agreed today that if those problems are addressed, we will be able to achieve what we set to achieve.
We have policymakers and policy implementers. We are all here today. We see some policies that we are made that we are not implemented. Today, we discuss the way forward, especially in broadband penetration into villages.
With respect to the timelines, right, that are presented, you will see that some of the targets, some were 2030, okay, some were 2025, right? And the objectives of the National Broadband Plan, whether the first plan or the second plan, are very good objectives. But in terms of being able to meet them, we've missed the targets. We've missed the 2013 targets, we've missed the 2014 targets. Okay, and realistically, 2025 targets will be very difficult to meet. Okay, the only issue is funding. It's as simple as that, right? But we do appreciate the initiative of the minister in terms of, working with the World Bank and other development finance organizations, institutions, to be able to bring in funding for this sector.
Nigerian broadband landscape targets a penetration rate of 70% by 2025, a coverage of 80% population and 75% fiber optic network by the end of 2027. In order for all targets to be attained, all stakeholders must continue to collaborate and with the unwavering support of the federal government of Nigeria.
For more on well-researched and balanced stories, events and interviews across business, tech innovation and lifestyle, please like, share and subscribe to this channel, www.youtube.com/digivationnetwork.